housing project for Blue Dolphin Towers by Blue Sky Communities. This is in Clearwater. You can see that it's 108. It's 81 multifamily affordable units at or below area median income, 80% area median income. The funding recommendations: $2 million for land acquisition. Recommended funding sources: it'll be a partnership between State Housing Initiatives Partnership Grant and the Penny for Pinellas for a little over $1 million.
Questions, discussion?
Just,
Move approval. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, just trying to make sure I understand. I was just looking through the notes, and this is going to be a mixed-use development in terms of types of units that will be in there, or is this
No, this is 100%.
just affordable housing?
Mr. Belsey.
And we also
Good.
it seems like it's some that are less than 80. Or they're all less than 80%, but even some are more restrictive. So
Right.
Yes.
It will not be a mixed use. It'll be a mixed income development. It's located on a former fire station site in downtown Clearwater.
That's what I,
And so the city of Clearwater is very supportive of the project as well. They're contributing $2.4 million to the development. Our city staff is here with any questions about that funding. And I think your other question was the income breakdown.
well, it just looks like it is 30% restricted. There's some that are under 30% AMI, some are under 60%, and then some are under 80%. If you could just give that verbal.
Certainly, yes. So in other words, the project will be 100% affordable. So all units will be affordable to under 80% AMI or below. And then further restricted, we'll have, one moment, please.
13 units at 30%.
Right, so there'll be 13 household units at under 30% AMI and 56 under 60 and 18 under 80. That is in your packet. That breakdown in the scoring.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Commissioner Seal.
Are we acquiring the land from the city of Clearwater?
Yes.
And we're paying for it?
Oh, I'm sorry, no, I'm mixing my projects. These would be construction funding dollars.
It says in our agenda, the funding recommendation for Blue Dolphin Tower is $2,050,000 for land acquisition.
Yes, the money will go towards the land acquisition. I apologize for the mistake, and the two are different, and so the property is owned by the city of Clearwater. These funds will be going towards the acquisition and put back into the project for the development. By using the funds for the acquisition, the dollars are then available for construction. By acquiring the property, it will stay in a land trust created by the county and have permanent affordable restrictions.
How large is so essentially we're paying the city of Clearwater $2 million for the land.
Correct.
Okay. How big is the land? How many acres is it? And why wouldn't they come forward with an in-kind donation of this?
Bruce, I think that's what you.
talk to them about
I think that's what you said, is that money's going to go back into the city of Clearwater is going to put that money back into the project, correct?
Correct. The city of Clearwater is putting funding sources into the project as well.
$2 million worth?
Let's.
Denise Sanderson from the city of Clearwater, she could maybe.
Hi.
Amanda Thompson, Director of the Community Redevelopment Agency. And the CRA is actually the owner of the property, and the CRA purchased the property from the city. So when this deal, it's so hard to get affordable housing built, which I know you guys all understand. So when this opportunity came before us in 2019, we issued an RFP specifically for tax credit project. And we were told this is the no-brainer of development deals. Hopefully you win the lottery of the state tax credit, all the financing and numbers work out, and here we are. And so we've been on a journey where we've been through the lottery process twice, and Blue Sky was successful the second time. So the CRA purchased the property from the city, so we were out that money. And then we are providing a little over $300,000 cash contribution towards the project. We also approved the elimination of the commercial area. So it was mixed use before, but we reduced costs for the project by saying you don't have to have the commercial area on the ground floor anymore. The city is providing additional affordable housing money, and is it 2 million? 2.41 million in cash towards the project.
For this project?
For this project. So I know it gets confusing because it's like which entity and which money, but we have other projects coming before you as well with Penny. So we are counting on the funding from the sale of this property is already allocated towards 2 more affordable and workforce developments. So we couldn't go back and change this deal to say, we'll just forgive $2 million because we've already moved down the path of putting that into other projects that are coming before the South Washington project, which we've been working on, and now the Clearwater Housing Authority will be a part of. And then also we're working with Archway for 1250 Cleveland for another affordable housing. So I know that's not what we like to hear in a project by project. You know, you want to see more of that, but we do have almost $3 million with the CRA's contribution and with the 2.4 from the city of cash into the development. We also eliminated the commercial area, and we're committed in our CRA to continuing more affordable housing, which you'll see in the 2 other projects.
Thank you, Amanda.
So a clarification question on that. So we're giving $2 million to the
The
CRA.
Community Redevelopment
The
Agency.
CRA. They're using 300,000 of it on this project.
Correct.
And the balance of the $1.7 million is going to be used for?
We'll put it back into housing. That would be my recommendation, Ultimately, that would have to be approved by the city council who are the CRA trustees. So we go through just like you do budget amendments. When that money comes on the books, then we'll have to put it into the various project funds.
I may have misunderstood. I thought you said you were putting almost $3 million into
The
this.
city,
We are.
The
city
city.
of Clearwater is, but I was talking about the CRA.
CRA
This
specifically.
is the CRA piece is getting, they have an additional $1.7 million of taxpayer money, and I just was wondering what they were going to do with it.
Okay.
And there's no guarantee at this, right now, that they're going to use it for housing. She's recommending, I think Amanda, you're saying you would recommend it, but it's not a requirement.
Right. I have no reason to believe that wouldn't happen, but again, I'm not the final decision maker.
Are there enough projects that are coming from us from this, in the CRA to use that, in the CRA area to use that, some of that 1.7 million?
One project that the board's previously approved was the Washington Avenue apartment project. And then I do believe they've got other applications. We don't have any other applications at this time in that area.
I would certainly be interested in amending anything we do to make sure that it's used for affordable workforce, any of that type of housing.
I would agree.
Further questions? Yeah, I think clarity on the funding streams on any of these types of projects when it's not straight, a straight line on a flow chart. We might want to talk a little bit more at the workshop prior to the actual meeting so that we don't have these kind of questions prop up when our time crunch. Further questions? All right. Is there a motion for approval?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Long, second by Commissioner Flowers. Commissioner Eggers.
Just on that point of restricting the use of the $2 million to housing, that's something I'd be interested in putting in that motion. Is that something that we can, I would like to see it done, so.
County Attorney.
If I'm understanding correctly, you're talking about the $2 million. I mean, your $2 million are required to be used to purchase the property because of the penny restrictions. What you're really talking about is $2 million of other funds that are in theory being freed up because of the $2 million that's being used to purchase the property. And I'm not sure how we validly restrict the city and their use of those funds.
We're providing $2 million only to the CRA for the land, of which is only $300,000 for the land. So they haven't.
No.
But they gave,
The whole $2 million has got to go to the purchase of the land because that's the only valid use. What's happening is that then additional monies that would otherwise have been
That's what she
spent on
said.
that are being freed up, and I just don't know of any valid way to restrict those funds.
Amanda, if you could just clarify, because
If I can clarify
Which would
this
leave
a little bit.
1.7.
Let's hang on a second. Mr. Administrator.
So originally, the CRA purchased, they used their funds from the city to purchase this property. So they bought it from the city. So the city's putting the dollars that they're gonna receive back from that, okay? So they, into the project. And that's, I think, so yes, the CRA in essence has free cash flow because now we're purchasing it, which is the requirement of the penny funds. And we're using that for the land acquisition piece. But it's really reimbursing what was originally given by the city, which is being plowed back into the project, if I'm correct.
That's not what we said earlier. So if you could just clarify
Sure.
about that $2 million that you're receiving at the CRA.
Correct. The CRA will receive $2 million as a result of this deal, of the sale. The CRA previously spent city TIF, city and CRA TIF, to buy the property. So the city has received money, and the CRA now is minus that land acquisition money. Now we will receive $2 million as part of this. Now the CRA, so that's, think of that as one column, right? The CRA is spending $300,000 in cash towards the project. The city is putting in $2.4 million towards the project. Then this $2 million, I have committed already to the CRA trustees and showing in our budgeting, we want to spend this on affordable workforce housing, and we will do that again. But I have to be transparent with you, right, that until that money actually arrives into our bank account and we go through a budget amendment, that's not a done deal.
That's what I thought I heard. You still had work to do with your board, that's all. And you feel confident that they'll listen to your recommendation?
I do. Housing is our number one priority.
And I think-
People living in downtown.
And I think that certainly the message could be delivered from this board that it's a priority, and we'll be watching where every dollar goes for future projects. So I think that kind of commitment will be there.
And Mr. Chairman, to that end, I do know that they stepped up to the plate to make this an affordable housing location, because I think there was some pressure not to do so.
And still is.
Still is.
And
So
still is.
I did want to commend the city commission. Now, just for clarity's sake, though, what did the CRA send over to the coffers of the city of Clearwater for the land?
We send over a little over $1 million.
Okay.
And that is part of the unique situation in Clearwater with all the land purchases, right, from different property owners above market value, that we have, property values have gone up, appraisals have gone up, even though nothing has been constructed.
And they probably could have sold it to the church for twice as much.
Thank you very much. All right, we have a couple of members from the public that would like